Hello and welcome. I'm Rajesh Pawar and you're watching this special broadcast from Kyiv. The Ukraine-Russia war has entered day 25 and over the next 20 minutes I'll take you through the latest developments straight from the war zone, Ukraine. Russia continues to up the ante against Ukraine. Cities continue to face intense shelling from all corners. In Kyiv, 228 people died since the war began. Over 900 injured in the capital. Meanwhile, Russia once again has claimed to use hypersonic missiles on Ukraine. Here's a report.
Damage, debris, and devastation on the streets of Ukraine cities. Russia continues to up its offensive on Ukraine with deadly aerial attacks in most of the cities. In Mykolaiv, Russian rockets hit a military base, reducing it to rubble. At least 15 bodies were recovered from under the debris. In one of the most horrifying attacks, a railway track was shelled, causing a massive explosion. The attack at an undisclosed location shows the detonation after the airstrike on the railway tracks on a bridge. The bridge completely destroyed after the attack. In Dnipro, repeated shellings leveled multiple residential buildings, bringing them to the ground. Black smoke engulfed the entire neighborhood and fire raged on for hours after the scary strike. Multiple shellings and missiles continue to pound the city. The residential buildings of the city of Kharkiv are in ruins due to multiple airstrikes. The second largest Ukraine city has seen most punishing airstrikes by the Russian forces using missiles and fighter jets. The besieged Mariupol continues to be the worst hit. Authorities claim that the Russian troops bombed an art school where 400 civilians took refuge. Multiple fatalities are feared in the strike. A convoy of buses evacuating Mariupol residents were also halted by the Russian troops. The capital city of Ukraine has seen massive casualties. At least 228 civilians, including 4 kids, have died since the beginning of the war. In a first, Russia has claimed that it has used hypersonic Kinjal missiles to attack parts of Ukraine. The missiles, traveling at 5 times the speed of sound, took out a large weapons depot in western Ivano-Frankivsk region.
18 марта авиационным ракетным комплексом «Кинжал»
On March 18th, Kinjal missile system armed with hypersonic aeroballistic missiles destroyed a large Ukrainian forces underground depot contained missiles and aircraft ammunition in the settlement of Delitin of Ivano-Frankivsk region in western Ukraine.
в населенных пунктах Великий Дальник и Великодолинская Одесской области.
But Ukraine continues to fight back like never before, shooting down Russian jets and destroying military tanks. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy issued a stern warning, saying that the war can destroy the victim as well as the invader. He also appealed Russia for peace talks.
Тому переговори про мир.
Negotiations about peace, about security for us, about security for Ukraine are substantial, fair and without delays. This is the only chance for Russia to reduce the harm from its own mistakes. We were always insisting on the negotiations. We were always offering dialogue, offering a solution for peace.
Despite Putin intensifying attack on Ukraine, Zelenskyy has vowed to fight till the very end. The Ukrainian president also suspended activities of 11 political parties with Russian links in a cleanup drive. In Ukraine, Bureau Report, India Today.
The Russia-Ukraine war has become more deadly. Russia has claimed that it had used hypersonic Kinjal missiles to destroy a large weapons depot in Ukraine's western Ivano-Franko region. Moscow has never before admitted using the high-precision weapon in combat. Here's a report.
A deadly missile which destroys its target with devastating ferocity and with unimaginable speed. Before you breathe, blink or have any chance to respond, traveling 5 times the speed for sound, or at an astounding speed of nearly 6,200 kilometers an hour. Enter the super deadly and lightning fast hypersonic Kinjal missile system, the Russian word for dagger. Kremlin has let the world know that it used the hypersonic missiles to destroy a large weapons depot in Ukraine's Ivano-Frankivsk region. Russia posted a video saying its missiles struck the arms depot in Delyatin, a village in southwestern Ukraine, only 100 kilometers from the border with Romania.
18 марта авиационным ракетным комплексом «Кинжал»
On March 18th, Kinjal missile system armed with hypersonic aeroballistic missiles destroyed a large Ukrainian forces underground depot contained missiles and aircraft ammunition in the settlement of Delyatin of Ivano-Frankivsk region in western Ukraine.
в населенных пунктах Великий Дальник и Великодолинской Одесской области.
There is currently no way to stop or intercept the hypersonic missiles because they can change direction while mid-flight. Hypersonic cruise missiles are propelled by a high-speed jet engine and not gravitational forces used by traditional ballistic missiles. Russia may have used the MiG-31 fighters to deploy the missiles, which can carry both nuclear and conventional warheads. In any case, this is a massive step up for Russian invasion forces, accused of using oxygen-killing thermo-aerobic vacuum bombs and targeting civilian areas and committing unimaginable war crimes. Will the Western countermeasures and counter-strike military hardware supplied to Ukraine be able to defeat Russia's game-changing missile strikes? With Rajesh Pawar in Kyiv, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's now understand about the combat capabilities of Russia's hypersonic missile Kinjal with my colleague Sneha Mordani.
Let's tell you a little more about the killer Kinjal missile. It's a super fast, low-flying and maneuverable speed of 6,000 kilometers per hour. The speed is 5 times that of sound. It can hit targets 2,000 kilometers away. The payload capacity is 480 kilograms and can carry nukes, conventional warheads, propelled by high-speed jet engine. It doesn't follow a preset flight path and can change trajectory mid-flight. There's no way to stop or intercept this missile.
The Russian assault continues to change the landscape of Ukraine. Once picturesque Ukrainian cities have changed dramatically under Russian airstrikes. Here's a before and after comparison of day 25th of Russian invasion.
The Russian onslaught continues, approaching a month and counting. Ruthless Russian troops are destroying railway lines, shelling residential buildings, flattening civilian hideouts, claiming lives in bulk. The extent of the damage caused to erstwhile picturesque Ukrainian cities are horrifying and beyond the realm of words. The city of Chernihiv has been witnessing massive attacks by the Russian troops. Fire continues to rage on in residential and commercial buildings. Plumes of black smoke from buildings that have faced back-to-back shelling in the area. The images from the city of Dnipro paints a devastating picture. Charred buildings and burned trees across the city show the extent of non-stop airstrikes that the city has been witnessing. Most of the buildings are reduced to rubble. The few standing are pockmarked with impact of explosions. The aftermath of attacks on Kharkiv are horrifying. Residential buildings heavily damaged by Russian shellings. Parts of the town, once brimming with life, have now turned into a ghost town. The streets of Kharkiv continue to witness bloodbath, lying in ruins, turning into a complete ghost city. As Russia attacks from all sides, Ukraine is bleeding and left to fend for itself. Bureau Report, India Today.
As the Russia-Ukraine conflict enters its 25th day, several anti-war Russians trying to escape legal repercussions for joining unsanctioned protests back at home are now trying to migrate to US via the Mexico border. Here is a report.
Unending Russian offensive. Ukraine facing the brunt of Putin's attacks from ground and air. Its cities ravaged. Millions displaced turned refugees. Ironically, their fate is shared by many Russians too. Many Russian nationals who are bitterly opposed to war too are facing a similar fate. Fleeing their country to escape hounding and legal persecution for joining unsanctioned protests to denounce Putin's war. Thousands of Russians who had fled their country are now trying to migrate to the United States of America via the Mexican border. A few dozen Russians, including several children, were seen waiting at the Mexico border for several days now, wrapping themselves in thick blankets to sleep, merely several feet from the border wall. But so far, neither Mexico's Migration Institute nor the U.S. Department of Homeland Security have responded to pleas by Russian asylum seekers. U.S. border officials have turned away asylum seekers from countries like Nigeria, Colombia, Honduras, and Mexico. Can rebel Russians melt U.S. hearts? That's the big question. Bureau Report, India Today.
Meet every battlefield's constant companion, and in war-torn Ukraine, it's the dog of Chernihiv. Pyrotechnicians named him Patron, as he continues to serve the Ukrainian military amid war. Since the beginning of the war, along with sappers, he has neutralized about 90 explosive objects, according to the State Emergency Service of Ukraine. I'll leave you with these visuals.